Mechanical CPR is here to stay. I talk a lot about mechanical CPR, and a lot of people think that I'm anti-mechanical CPR. I'm not anti-mechanical CPR. I am agnostic to mechanical CPR. I just follow the data wherever it leads, and some of that data is not favorable when it comes to mechanical CPR. In fact, the body of evidence does not associate mechanical CPR with higher survival rates as compared to manual CPR. It is considered to be non-inferior, meaning it doesn't perform any better, it doesn't perform any worse, at least as far as the amount of people who walk out of the hospital with a functioning brain. However, there are some very passionate and knowledgeable people out there who are committed to the most progressive resuscitation practices that we can affect in the field, and they don't consider mechanical CPR to have a place in that, at least as far as when there are adequate resources available. They would prefer that you perform high-performance CPR, which is associated with some significantly high survival rates. High-performance CPR tends to be a luxury of riches, and even if you are an agency that can pull off the training required to perform high-performance CPR, if you're in a region that has multiple agencies responding to a cardiac arrest, everyone has to have that training and be on the same page. This is what I want to say to people who think that mechanical CPR doesn't have a place in a progressive resuscitation or any resuscitation. It doesn't matter what you think, because mechanical CPR is a desire line through resuscitation. And if you don't know what a desire line is, go to any apartment complex or public space, public park, and anywhere where there are dedicated walking spaces, you will see worn paths between those walking spaces where someone has chosen the shortest route between 2 points. The people in the field, the EMS providers in the field who are performing the resuscitation and performing manual CPR have already determined that mechanical CPR is here to stay. This is their desire line. It is the shortest distance between 2 points, and you can show them all the data in the world, but it is too powerful a utility to give up. And for the people who advocate against mechanical CPR and continue to advocate for the resuscitation practices associated with the highest rates of neurologically intact survival, this is what I want you to consider. You may actually be hindering improvements in overall survival by drawing a line in the sand, because these arguments tend to be the immovable object versus the irresistible force. What you're advocating for and what advocates of mechanical CPR are advocating for don't necessarily intersect, so it's not resolvable. So I think it's time to start acknowledging those desire lines and paving those desire lines by developing a national standard for the use of mechanical CPR, when it's supposed to be used, how it's supposed to be used, a universal training standard when it comes to placement of the Lucas and placement of the autopulse. And this should be represented in our BLS training and our ACLS training. And for the people who are out there fighting the good fight and advocating for evidence-based best practices, this isn't taking the L. You're going to lose this based on attrition alone. So by taking charge of this paradigm and developing standardized training, we can make a difference, and an immediate one, because mechanical CPR isn't going anywhere and for all intents and purposes is very close to becoming the standard of care.